Hey guys, welcome to another video. I really appreciate you joining me today. Today I'm going to do another which shoe for you video between two Altra shoes, the Altra FWD Experience and the Altra Torin 7. There are some similarities between the shoes and definitely some differences. They both work in some of the same realms as to how you would use them, and then I think there are some differences. First, I guess I'll talk about the Torin 7 that's been out a bit longer. The Torin 7, I've run in several Torins over the years. This is probably my fourth or fifth pair of Torins. When they went from the Torin 6 to the Torin 7, they added 2 more millimeters of stack height. It has a very soft Ego Max midsole. It's 30 millimeters of stack height in the forefoot, 30 millimeters in the heel. It has the zero drop that most Altra shoes have. It's got their standard, which is their medium width toe box. Most Altras have the foot shaped toe box. It's a bit wider than the majority of shoes. I think if you go with their slim fit, it's actually more like most shoes are standard wise. So this is a bit wider. They also sell the original fit that comes in the Lone Peak and the Olympuses that is even wider. But I have found that the standard fit works really well for me. It's got a nice mesh upper that breathes pretty well. It's got a cushion tongue that is pretty comfortable. They improved that from version 6 to version 7. I find that it ties well, locks well, nice and cushioned around the heel area. Pretty much a full rubber outsole. This shoe I've really enjoyed. I love wearing these around casually when I'm on concrete because it gives some cushion. It's very nice and soft and comfortable. I love this shoe for recovery days and longer run days because it's so comfortable and well cushioned. I have found that since they added the 2 millimeters more stack height, I don't like it quite as good when I'm picking up the pace. But extremely comfortable if I'm going for an easier long run or just an easy recovery day. I really enjoy the shoe. Now the new shoe on the block is the Altra FWD Experience. It's Altra's first shoe with a drop, and it's got a 4 millimeter drop. So that is one of the differences and one of the things you might consider between the two shoes if it bothers you. For me personally, I've adjusted to zero drop shoes, but I find that I'm pretty comfortable in anything between a 0 millimeter drop and a 6 millimeter drop. I don't like going much higher than that for me personally. I think it has a fairly similar sort of mesh upper. It does seem a little bit more dense. I haven't really been able to test it in the heat yet to see if it breathes as well as the Torin. It actually has a little bit higher stack height in the heel. It's 32 millimeters of stack height in the heel, 28 in the forefoot. It uses a compressed EVA midsole. And this midsole I actually find a fair bit firmer than the Ego Max on the Torin. Some good and bad in that. It does still have a high level of cushion, which you can feel with the 32, with those stack heights, the 32 and the 28. But I do think the foam is a fair bit firmer. Again, some of the other similarities, it has quite a bit of outsole rubber, which is actually pretty similar to the Torin 7. It does have some EVA, which is exposed through the middle of the outsole. But it still has good rubber in the spots that you wear out. This of course is going to look worn sooner, but that's just aesthetic, and it's on the bottom of your shoe, so who cares? I still find the tongue is cushioned. It's not overly cushioned, but it's nice and comfortable. The heel area is well cushioned. It even has these big kind of balloon things, but it seems to lock down really well. It also has Altra standard fit. So it's the same kind of medium width toe box that I think works really well for me. I'm enjoying this shoe so far. So far in my Altra Torin 7s, as of the time of making this video, I have about 145 miles in these. My FWD Experience, I have, I think, 57 miles or something in them. So they are newer to me, but I still have enough to thoughts on them. In my personal take on them is they both work pretty good as all-around shoes. A lot of people love the Torin 7 as their everyday trainer. I think it works pretty well for that, but for me, since they added the 2 millimeters of extra stack height of Ego Max and it being pretty soft, I actually find it a little bit too mushy for really picking up the pace. I feel like I sink down into it and have to work too hard to get going when I want to go hard. But for an easy day or a long recovery day, these shoes are great. When you go to the Forward Experience, they're definitely a little firmer. I've heard some people say that they think they're too firm for going real long in. I've run up to a 17 miler in this and I didn't find that a problem at all. Maybe if I was going even longer, the firmness would start bothering me, but it hasn't so far. I'm finding these a really good, versatile daily trainer because with the extra firmness, I think they feel slightly more responsive, and I'm able to pick up the pace in them. But still, with that big 32 millimeters in the heel and 28 in the forefoot, they're still cushioned enough I can do a pretty long run in them. So these I just find is a really good, versatile daily trainer. And I think they have a little bit more versatility for me than the Torin 7s. With that being said, some people don't like the firmness and they would prefer the Torin 7. I would also say that I don't know yet how these will wear. I'm assuming with the same sort of outsole rubber, they're going to be similar to the Torin 7s. The Torins I have been traditionally getting 350 to 400 miles each pair, so I'm expecting a similar sort of lifespan for me in the AltraFwd Experience. I have run in the rain in both shoes. I find they grip pretty well on wet pavement. They're obviously not tough enough on the outsole to go for trail runs or something like that, something technical, but they work really good on the roads and still grip pretty well. So even though I think these are a little peppier for picking up the pace, I still think they're not quite as peppy as a few shoes out there like the Ultra Vanish Tempo from Altra, or I have the Cyclone 2s from Topo that I think are even a little bouncier with their all P-backs midsole. But these are just really, I think they're going to eat up miles well. I'm going to be able to throw them on anytime I don't know what sort of workout I'm going to do, and I'll be able to pick up the pace or take it easy and be fairly comfortable. Anyway, they're just two different shoes. This one I think is just maximum comfort, very comfortable. This one is more versatile, but I think they both have a place in the rotation for me, and I'm enjoying both shoes. I also find that a lot of people that just really want a zero drop shoe but want some cushioning will probably really enjoy the Altra Torin 7. If you're really just new to Altra and you're not sure about zero drop, a good way to transition into it might be something like the Forward Experience that has a 4mm drop, or going with another brand that has a 4 or 5mm drop to kind of get used to going to lower drop but not all the way to zero, and then you can transition into some of the other Altra zero drop shoes. But this is a good shoe on its own. Anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on the two shoes. I hope you found it interesting. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, hitting the like button. If you're interested in any more of my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And other than that, I hope you're having a wonderful day.